Recycling is so important in keeping Sarasota County beautiful, but many people, including me, aren't sure what to put in their recycling bins. So joining me now to explain is Wendy Crisp. I'm so glad to have you on the show. I mean, we're all trying to be more eco-conscious and help our environment. So let's start with what types of materials should be recycled and which ones shouldn't.
So it's really important to remember to put the right materials in your recycling containers. We want to get back to the basics, making sure we're putting things like paper. I think that's probably one of the most common items we have in our homes, our offices, our schools. You can use scrap paper, you can put in your junk mail, your magazines. So those items, it's very important to get those in your bins.
How about like the funnies, because they're in color? Paper?
Newspaper is okay, absolutely.
Newspaper is okay.
Right.
Okay.
So bottles and cans, plastic bottles. I know a lot of people use plastic water bottles.
Sure.
Use sports drinks bottles. Those can go in your bins as well.
Okay.
Aluminum cans, steel cans. So those are some of the basic items.
But cleaned out, how good do they have to be washed? Say you have a spaghetti jar. Does it have to be completely cleaned out or rinsed out? I mean, how specific do you have to get?
Yeah, so they do need to be clean. So they need to be rinsed out. You don't want to have any kind of food residue in the products.
Okay.
So if you're having a hard time getting the food out, probably it doesn't go in the recycling bin.
It should be thrown away.
You can throw it away.
Okay.
And the reason why you want them to be clean is any type of food remnants can contaminate not only that piece but also additional parts of the load, and that can cause some challenges down the line in the recycling process.
Okay, so papers in one, and then what specifically? So glass, metal containers of some sort, as long as they're all clean. Anything else that can go in that bin?
The plastic bottles.
Yeah.
And so one of the things you want to keep in mind when you're looking at your plastics and such is that we're looking mainly for items that have had food and beverage in them previously, and they're no bigger than 1 gallon in size. So sometimes people receive items in 2-gallon buckets or 5-gallon
Sure.
buckets, and those are not currently accepted in our recycling program.
Okay.
So if there's a way to find an additional use for them, to reuse them, otherwise they would go into the trash.
Okay, so like the 2.5-gallon water containers?
That doesn't
get
currently
recycled.
accepted in our program. Now there
Okay.
may be ways to recycle them with the retailer, but not currently accepted in our program.
And what if I'm not sure about an item? Where does it go?
There's a couple of things you can keep in mind if you're not sure where an item should go. For Sarasota County residents that are in the unincorporated part of the county, we do have an app called My Waste. And
Really?
yes, it has been around for several years. You can get it in either the iTunes store or the Google Play Store, but there's a feature there that's called What Goes Where. And so if there's an item that you're in doubt about, you can type it in, and it'll tell you whether it's trash or recycling.
That's perfect.
So that opportunity is also available on the website, scgov.net. And if you're still not sure what to do with it, there's an old saying of when in doubt, throw it out.
Okay, all right, I like it. Now, what if it has a recycling symbol on it, but it's not listed in my program? Then what do I do with it?
So again, with that, if it's not in the program, it is going to need to go into the garbage. Vendors will only accept the items that they're able to process. So you can kind of think of recyclables as commodities, and if there's not a market for the resale value of it, then a lot of times the vendors won't take them.
Okay. Another personal question. What about the plastic bags that you get in grocery stores? Recyclable or not?
So they are not recyclable in our program.
Okay.
Oftentimes they will become what we call tanglers. They get stuck in the recycling machinery,
Okay.
but a lot of the retailers will take them back.
Okay. Last question. I'm hosting an event, possibly, and I've purchased disposable silverware and cups. Can I recycle these if I wash them off, like styrofoam and things?
That's a common question we get, and unfortunately those are not recyclable in our program, so any type of disposable, even if they're marked compostable or recyclable, will need to go into your trash.
Okay, and the app one more time, because I think that's great.
It's called My Waste.
My Waste. Okay. Thank you, Wendy, for all this information. I love it. I hope it's helped a lot of people out there.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. After the break, we preview a fashion show benefiting our furry friends.